Hi, my name is Monique. I am the owner and yoga instructor at Mala Collaborate Manitoba. Thank you for joining me here in my studio. We're closed due to COVID, but it's really lovely to be able to reach out to folks in the community and continue to share my love of yoga. So as you noticed, I don't fit the typical mold for a yoga teacher. Yes, I am fat. But I can still do yoga. And yoga for me is about meeting myself on my mat every time, exactly as I am, and moving my body not because I want to punish it, but moving my body because I want to look into how it moves, how good it feels to move it, and how good it feels to be able to shut out all of those tapes that play in your head, all the narratives about what you should be, how you should behave, how you should act, who you should love, what you should look like, what you should wear, all of that junk that we get sort of thrown into our faces by society, by media. I get to leave that all behind when I come to my mat and just come home to myself. So I hope that as you join me here on this journey, you'll be able to come home to yourself as well. So let's start our practice. I'm going to back up a little bit, move on to my yoga mat. Bear with me. So come to sit wherever you are, with a nice long spine. The legs can be doing anything. Right now I'm in easy pose with my legs just crisscrossed. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and in school they call this crisscross applesauce. I'm going to sit in crisscross applesauce and think about tilting the pelvis forward slightly. So you're going to rock forward onto those sit bones. I like to draw the flesh away from my sit bones here so that I can really root into the ground. I'm going to roll my shoulders onto my back and let them melt down the back of my body. I'll rest my hands wherever it feels comfortable. The tilt of my pelvis forward slightly allows my spine to rise nice and tall. So lift through the side body, lift the crown of the head. If you're comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes and then settle into the breath. Noticing the breath, witnessing the breath as it arrives and departs. Not trying to change it at all, just being an observer, a spectator, if you would. Perhaps noticing that as you inhale, the body naturally lifts. And as you exhale, the body will descend a little. Bones and muscles releasing down into the support beneath you. Really spend the next few breaths just focusing on the movement of oxygen into the body and out of the body. Noticing, is it easy to breathe in? Is it difficult? What do you notice? Perhaps you feel the oxygen rushing in at your nostrils as you breathe in through your nose the most. Perhaps you notice it swirling down the back of the throat the most. Perhaps it's the lift of the chest as you inhale. Or perhaps it's the chest dropping as you exhale. Take the time to focus all of your attention wherever you feel the breath arriving for you the most. And in doing that, in anchoring into the breath in this way, you're anchoring into the present moment. So you have the ability to put down your to-do list. It'll be ready for you to pick up when the practice is done. And you can just come into your body right here and right now. Now, after you have anchored your attention in the breath, become mindful of what the body is doing. How is the body responding? Go ahead and feel into your posture. How many of you are sitting in a really relaxed pose? Your pelvis is kind of rocking backwards, so you're sitting on the back edge of your sit bones. The belly is soft, the shoulders are hunched, the head is hanging. This is how most of society sort of sits. Go ahead and take a deep breath and exhale. Was that easy? Now think about how you want to show up for yourself. Think about drawing that pelvis forward. Notice how just drawing the pelvis forward, coming up onto those sit bones, allows the whole body to rise. From there, roll the shoulders onto the back. Reach the head for the crown for the head of, no, reach your head for the ceiling. Oh my goodness, can't find the words today. Take a deep breath and exhale. How did your lungs respond to this posture? Was it easier to breathe in? So choose how you want to show up. Choose how you want to lead your body through this practice today. Then we'll go ahead and allow the eyes to gently flutter open. And we're going to start warming up our spine with a pose called cat-cow. So there's very many variations. I'll show you about 2 of them. So you can stay seated exactly where you are. Hands can be resting on the knees. We're going to inhale and begin to draw our chest forward. The head will drop back and the tailbone curls up towards the back body. And we exhale, we roll the pelvis back, begin to arc through the upper spine, drop the chin to the chest, push out through the shoulder blades, rounding that upper back as we exhale. Then inhale and come back into cow. So pelvis and head drop to meet each other onto the back. So the head drops, the pelvis lifts, or the tailbone lifts towards the back body. Chest and belly come forward. Then we exhale, reversing that curl. So that's variation 1. We allow the inhale and the exhale to lead the movement. So inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat. Variation number 2, which is the exact same exercise, except for it's up on all 4s, looks like this. So same motion, but now I'm bringing my knees into the equation. So if your knees are tender, you can go back to sit on your bottom. You can fold a blanket or fold your yoga mat underneath you. You're going to stack the hips over the knees, the ankles underneath the shoulders. That would not work. Your wrists underneath your shoulders, sorry. And the knees underneath the hips. You're going to go ahead and exhale, arcing the back, pushing up. Inhale, tailbone and head meet together on the back body or curl towards each other on the back body. Belly drops, chest lifts. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. If you're feeling a little bit whimsical, you can I know it seems silly, but sometimes laughing at yourself feels really good. So just go ahead and move through the postures. Sometimes I find making those silly vocalizations helps me embody the posture. So I like arc my back and drop my belly. I think of having an udder, so when I move, it helps me ease into the pose. It helps me be into the cow pose instead of Monique moving in a pose with her butt sticking up and her belly hanging down. And then I'm going to exhale and push out, curling my tailbone down towards the floor, belly button rises to the spine. And I can meow, thinking about my cat on the windowsill, getting a nice good stretch. So the challenge here becomes not just doing the pose, because anybody can do the pose. It's being the pose, feeling into the pose. How does this make your body feel? Lightly and gently waking up the spine here. Beautiful. Let's do one more round. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. Great, let's meet in a neutral tabletop. So you're either on all fours in tabletop or you're seated Everybody's gonna join me here in tabletop. We're gonna inhale, take a look at the right hand, and you're gonna go ahead and lift up the right foot and bring it towards the right hand. You'll notice how I heel-toed my foot in there. That's okay. Then I'm gonna inhale and lean forward into what's called a lizard pose. And exhale and begin to back up, sitting onto the heel of my left foot. Inhale, walk forward, lunging into lizard. Exhale, sit back on that hip, stretching out the hamstring of the right leg. If you'd like, you can curl the toes down towards the floor. Excellent. Walk forward. We'll inhale, come to neutral, and then we'll bring both legs back together. We're going to do the other side now. So take a look at the left hand, and we're going to bring the left foot to the left hand. Come bring it to the outside of the left hand. Go ahead and lean forward on an inhale, stretching through those hips in what we call lizard pose. And then exhale, walk the hands back. Begin to sit back on that heel, stretching out the left leg now, getting a hamstring stretch if you'd like, curl the toes down towards the floor. Inhale, lizard, stretch the hips, nice. Exhale, hamstring stretch, beautiful. Then we'll come back to tabletop, reach the knees back together, lovely. Continuing to warm the spine up. Go ahead and wag the hips from side to side here. Bringing some gentle movement into the hips if you'd like. When the right hip swings out, you can look back at it, creating a C shape. Then when the left hip swings out, look back at it. So you're creating these C shapes with either side of your body, allowing the spine to stretch in the opposite direction that we did from cat-cow. And then one of my favorite poses, we're gonna leave our knees stacked. Our hips are gonna stay put, stay still. We're gonna walk our hands forward and then begin to melt the chest down towards the floor. The chest will come to the floor, the forehead will come to the floor. And just breathe here into puppy pose. Excellent. Inhale up, pressing into the hands. Bring the hands back into tabletop. Just warming up the body, getting ready for some increased movement here. Let's do a shoulder stretch now. We're going to pick up the left hand and thread it underneath the right, coming back into that leaning fold. I'm parting my knees. My bum is still sticking up in the air. And I'm going to go ahead and let my head rest. So I'm resting onto my shoulder, my left hand underneath my body. Excellent. Inhale to press back up. Again, I'm keeping my knees pretty wide here. I'm going to exhale back into puppy pose, except instead of my hands being in the front, my right arm is now going to come down and I'll rest my head down to the floor. Just stretching through the shoulder here. Awesome. Inhale to come back up. Bring the knees back into alignment over the hips. Perhaps swinging the hips back and forth a few more times. And then you're going to curl your toes under. Press your hands into the floor, spreading your fingers as wide apart as possible. From here, we're going to go ahead and swing the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So you can see that my back drops just as if I were going to take cow pose here. Then I'm going to lift from cow pose, lift my legs up into the, straightening my legs out, lifting my butt into the air. And I'm going to allow my upper body to take on the pose that looks like a cat. So I'm in downward facing dog now. I'm going to let my head hang. I can walk my dog by bending my knees here. I can rock from the ball of my feet to the heels of my feet to stretch my legs. Perfect. Bring the left foot into midline. Inhale, rise the right foot up into the air. Exhale, plant the right foot down to the floor beside the right hand. Nice. Now you're in low lunge. Go ahead and drop that left heel down to the ground. Then inhale and rise up, coming into warrior one. Beautiful. Inhale to find length in the side body. Exhale, melt into the pose. Go ahead and take a look at your toes. If you can't see your toes, you're bending too far. If you can see all of them, and it would be comfortable, you have room to move further. Then you want to have the knee tracking towards the pinky toe side of the foot to protect the knee. So make sure if you see toes, you can see your big toe. Excellent. Inhaling to find length. Exhaling to sink into the shape. Inhale, then you can exhale, twist the body, bring the hands out to warrior two. Looking over the right fingertips. Perfect. Then we'll exhale, bring our hands to our hips, keeping our hands on the hips. We will come up on the tippy toes of the left foot, spring forward and drop our bums into chair pose. I like to give my butt a little wiggle, bringing it closer to the floor. Then I'm going to lift my upper body up. Draw the belly off the thighs. Hold. Feel the fire building in the legs. Nice. Inhale to find length. Exhale to sink into the pose. Beautiful. Inhale, straighten the legs out. Perfect. Just hang here, breathing. Allow the spine to round if you'd like. You can also spread the feet a little bit wider apart to make room for the belly. If you're used to sitting at a computer or driving a lot, instead of hunching and curling the low body towards the spine, can you bend the knees and allow the body to hang, making the back nice and flat? Just to be an antidote to the hunched posture that we often always have. Excellent. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we'll lift halfway up, looking up. Exhale to release. Then inhale and rise to standing, nice flat back. Hands will follow, gaze will follow. Hands down to the heart. Let's do that again on the other side. This time I'm going to face forward just to give you a different angle and to anchor myself on my mat instead of my slippery floor. So here we are. Let's start with some basics. So let's go into the position called Tadasana or mountain pose. Go ahead and take a look at your feet. Now your feet don't have to be touching. I want you to stand comfortably. So if you have thighs like I do that make this posture feel like my knees are pressing, and when I bend over, there's no room for my belly, don't do that posture. If this posture feels good with everything hugged in, go for it. But you also have the ability to move the feet out, hip width distance at least, for comfort. Take a look at that second toe. If I were to draw a straight line down your second toe, I would want it to go on forever and never intersect. So that toe has to be coming straight in line with the back of the heel. That is your straight alignment of your feet. A lot of times we stand like this, some of us stand like this, some of us shift one hip and the toe goes out. Take a look at the toes, align the feet. Now this may feel like your knock-kneed here. It may be uncomfortable at first, but this position in the legs will allow the body to stack and will allow you to move through all of these yoga positions safely. So go ahead, toe, second toe intersecting through the back of the heel. Now hug the shins together. Hug the shins together. Spin the inner thighs back. When you spin the inner thighs back, you end up sticking your buttocks out and putting a lot of the burden of moving your body onto the low back, where you get low back pain quite easily. So go ahead and draw the belly up towards the ribs, towards the chest. Release the shoulders onto the back, palms will be facing forward. Last but not least, align the ears over the shoulders. Now you are in Tadasana, mountain pose. Go ahead and inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. The gaze can follow if you'd like. Exhale, we'll fold forward over the legs. Now you get nice and slow. Feel into every vertebra, folding. Keep those inner thighs spun back here, broadening the sacrum, allowing you to fold. Again, You can either round the spine towards the legs, or you can bend into the knees and let the back be nice and flat and hang here. Excellent. Inhale halfway up, crown of the head will reach from the front of the room. Exhale to release. This time we're gonna plant our hands down. So bend into the knees strongly, plant the hands down wide apart, and we'll step back into plank pose. So you probably can't see that, I'll go to the side. Plank pose is this baby that we all know and love or love to hate. So here, my toes are curled under. I can also do this from my knees. Same thing, a little harder this way. Do whatever variation feels good in your body. Building core strength, hug your core in. Excellent. Then we're gonna exhale, push our bums up, coming into downward facing dog one more time. Breathe here. Lovely. Lift the left leg this time into the air. Then sweep the left leg around to the left hand. Great. Drop that right heel. Inhale, coming up to warrior one. I said I would do it straight on my mat, but I decided not to. You can see better. So go ahead and inhale, finding length in the spine. Exhale to melt into the pose. Check in with the toes. Can you see the big toe? Is the knee tracking towards the pinky toe side? Be strong, warrior one. Exhale, open it up for warrior two. Gaze comes over the left fingertips. Lovely. Inhale to find length in the body. Exhale to deepen into the pose. Exhaling, bring the hands to the hips. Spring up on the right tippy toes, and we'll come to meet in that chair pose. Woo, almost fell over. Come to meet in that chair pose. Swing the hips down towards the floor. That's it. Inhale, lift. Raising the tummy off of the thighs. Heart is proud and lifted. Inhale to find length. Exhale, sink into the pose. Then inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, fold forward. Hang here for about a moment. Inhale to lift halfway up. Exhale to release. Inhale, rise to standing, nice flat back. Exhale, hands to heart. Perfect. How are you feeling? Let's do that again and add on. Pardon me while I yank my pants up. That's the reality of yoga. Here I am, just as I am. Pull my pants up so they don't fall down. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to be who you are. You don't need anything special but your body and the willingness to dive in. Feel how these postures feel in your body. So we can all go through the motions, but let's get into how this feels. Let's find our Tadasana one more time. Align those toes, sink all four corners of the feet into the earth. This is your foundation. From here, you'll draw strength and wisdom from the core of Mother Earth. Lovely. Hug those shins together. Spin those inner thighs back. Draw the abdomen up towards the chest. Do you feel how that aligns your whole spine? Relax the shoulders onto the back. Align the ears over the shoulders. Just take a moment. Standing here in Tadasana or mountain pose. Do you feel strong? Do you feel stacked with a solid foundation, just like a mountain, rising from the crust of the earth, reaching into the heavens? Can you feel that? Can you feel that as human beings, we are always the conduit between the earth and the universe? We reside between the two. Our feet rooting us into Mother Earth, keeping us grounded. And our heads allowing us to expand into the universe, tap into the collective consciousness, recognize we have more in common than we do difference. We are all one. You possess the infinite wisdom of the collective consciousness. It is within you. You are the conduit between heavens and earth. Rise up and take your place. Beautiful. Inhale. Sweep the arms up and overhead, gathering everything you need, all the confidence, all the hope. Excellent. Then you're going to bow in reverence to how fantastic you as a human being really are. Inhale, halfway up, looking towards the horizon, seeing the future that is laid out before you, but not getting caught up in it. Come back to the present moment. Rooting back down, bow. Be here in this moment. Knowing that the future will come, it is there, it is waiting for you. In order to get there safely, you have to cultivate exactly who you are in this moment. So with your next breath, you're going to inhale and step back with the right foot. Bend into the left knee. Rise up for warrior one. Feel the strength. You're a fighter. Breathe into that ability to stand up for what you believe in, to stand up for yourself. Exhale, warrior two. Breathe, find length in the spine as you inhale, as you exhale, release into the pose. Feeling your body express its strength, its fierceness. Excellent. Exhale, hands come to hips. Turn the hips forward. Come up on the tippy toes of the right foot. Spring forward and sit down. Wiggle the hips. Root into the being of who you are. Get to know it. Get juicy. Get in there. Then rise up. Heart lifted. Sharing your gifts with the world. Sink into your root so you can shine out. Then bend forward in reverence to everything that you are, to all that you've accomplished. Bend the knees strongly. Place the hands down. Step back. Release the hips towards the sky. Head bows to Mother Earth. You're now in downward facing dog. You can walk the dog. You can rock on the feet. Lovely. Inhale. Reach the right leg up in the air. Exhale. Plant the right foot beside the right hand. You may need to heel toe over there. Doesn't matter. You're going to get there. Then we're going to inhale. Drop the left knee and come into lizard like we did at the beginning of the practice. Nice. Exhale, walk back. Sit on that leg, stretch through the hamstring. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, and then inhale, rise on up into that low lunge again. Nice. This time, we're gonna walk the hands towards the side. Turn the toes, so the toes are going to be pointing inward slightly. Legs are nice and wide. Exhale, release the head towards the floor. If the hands can touch, the heel of the palm comes into line with the heel of the feet. Release, feeling the hamstring stretch. Bowing. The wisdom of the mind, recognizing the wisdom of the earth. Allow Mother Earth to infuse your mind with her power and her knowledge. Allow natural ways to take over the narrative from society telling you you're not good enough. Mother Earth knows you are and she'll meet you where you are. Excellent. Bend into the knees strongly. Inhale, rise up. You can exhale and bend the elbows, coming into goddess pose. Inhale, come to stand up. Hands will come to the hips. Heel toe your way to the center of your mat. And we'll start again. Find your Tadasana. Build your mountain. Inhale, reach up. Gather everything you need. Exhale, bow in reverence to who you are. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to release. Step it back into down dog. From here, raise up. Sorry, I lied. Don't step back into down dog. Reverse. Step back from your forward fold. Step back with the right foot. Left foot forward. Or do the opposite side. I can't remember where we were now. I'm gonna have to edit this. Okay, so Tadasana. Inhale. Hands come up. Exhale, bow in reverence. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands on the ground. Step back with the left foot. Bend into the right knee. Inhale, coming up for warrior. Nice. Finding length in the side body. Exhaling to release into the pose. Inhale, find length. Exhale, open it up. Lovely. Inhale, then exhale, bringing the hands towards the hips, stacking the hips to the front edge of the mat. Spring up on the left toes, come to seat. Wiggle the bum, get it close to the earth. Then rise up. Excellent. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend through the knees. Walk it back to down dog. You can walk the dog or rock from ball of foot to heel. Bring the right foot into midline. Left foot rises into the air and swings through to the left hand. Plant the left foot down. Go ahead and release the right knee. Coming to lizard like we did at the top of the practice. Exhale, sit back onto that right heel. Stretch the hamstring of the left foot, point the toes towards the ground. Inhale, coming back to a neutral pelvis. Exhale, then inhale one more time, lifting that back knee up, coming into that lunge. Come all the way up, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, then exhale, twisting the hips to the front edge of the mat. Spring up, sit down into that chair pose. Wiggle those hips. Let the body drape onto the thighs. Root down, tap into the wisdom of Mother Earth, then rise up. Excellent, bend deeper. Nice. Inhale, come to stand. Hands come to heart. Beautiful. Inhale, hands rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to release. Inhale, plant the hands, step it back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, transition to plank. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down if you're not already there. Melt, chest, belly, pelvis, belly, chest. Head touches. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, leg comes to the front. Inhale, drop the knee, lunge. Exhale, walk it back. Sit on that back leg. Toes point towards the floor for a stretch. Inhale, rise on up. Exhale, curl the toes under. Inhale, come up on that back knee. Toe, heel rests into the floor. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, square the hips, bring the hands to the hips. Spring forward and sit back. Root into those hips. Find that juicy spot. Then inhale, rise up. Bounce here. Hold, pulse, inhale to find length. Exhale. exhale, sit back. Notice I'm not sitting back like this. I'm sitting back with my bum, driving it into the floor. Then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to release. Inhale, rise to standing. Nice flat back. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to release. Bend the knees. Step back into downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Either walk the dog or rock the feet. Nice. Inhale, then exhale to lower to plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down if you're not already there. Melt thighs, pelvis, belly, chest, chin, forehead. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, swing it through. Inhale, plant the heel down. Exhale, root through the right foot. Bend into that knee. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, square the hips, hands come to hips. Spring up on the toes. Inhale, come forward, sit. Root those hips. Allow the upper body to rest onto the thighs. Then inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to release. Inhale, rise to standing, nice flat back. Exhale, hands to heart. One last time. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to release. Plant the hands, bend the knees. Step back for downward facing dog. Walking dog. Inhale, exhale to plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, melt the torso all the way down on the exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Walk your dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, swing it through. Inhale, drop into a lunge. Exhale, sit back. Point the toes if you'd like. Inhale to come to a neutral pelvis. Exhale, curl the toes under. Inhale, rise up, plant the heel. Exhale, then rise up on an inhale. Warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, hands come to hips. Square the hips with the front edge of the mat. Come up on the ball of the foot. Spring forward. Exhale. Root those hips down into the earth. Allow the upper body to drape over. Inhale, sweep that belly off the thighs. Lift the heart. Breathe. Inhaling to find length. Exhaling, sink back with the hips. Nice. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to release. Inhale, rise to standing. Nice flat back. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Take a moment. Breathe. Stand here in Tadasana. Letting your body feel the yoga. How does your body feel? Go ahead and bring it down to your mat. You can sit either crisscross applesauce or wide-legged. Send your breath throughout your body. Take a moment to integrate your practice. Were you able to feel like you could rise tall like a mountain? Were you able to bow in reverence to all that you are? Were you able to show up and be a warrior? Were you able to accept your ability just as you are without judgment? Not wanting more, not wanting less. Lifting your head to look forward and then bowing back down in reverence for the past. Lifting up to rise while you root. Showing up by choosing how you want to be in the world. By choosing to just be you. For the next part of the practice, come to find your back body. So laying down, knees will be bent. Rest into the floor for a moment. You can curl the shoulders under so they rest on the back body if you'd like. Then we're going to go ahead and lift the right foot up. Bring it onto the left thigh for pigeon. Feel the hip releasing open. If this is enough of a stretch for you, stay here. If you'd like more, you can inhale and begin to lift the left leg up. Perhaps if you'd like, you can thread the needle, bringing your hands to hold on to the back of your thigh. You can even just grab your pants and draw that leg in. Wherever you are, whatever feels good in your body is what you do. So the more you draw the left knee in, the more the right hip stretches. If it would feel good, you can rock back and forth, massaging the spine here while you're in this recumbent pigeon pose. Nice. Then we'll exhale and release both legs. Bring the feet to the floor, knees are still bent. Then we'll windshield wiper from side to side. So knees will drop to the left and then to the right. Hands can come out in a letter T shape. And you're just going to let your torso rock. So your shoulders are going to try to stay on the floor. It's okay if they lift them. And your hips are going to rock from side to side while your knees drop from side to side. There's no destination here. You don't have to get the knees to touch the floor. If they do, great. If they don't, great. Just move through this position, and when you're done equally on both sides, come back to this neutral spine, and we'll continue for the left side. So this time we're going to bring the left ankle up onto the right thigh, and breathe here. If this feels good, this is where we stay. If we want more, we lift the right foot up. We can stay here. We can thread the needle by bringing our hands through. The more we draw the right knee into the chest, the more the left hip opens. Go to where it feels good. And then if you'd like, you can also begin to rock back and forth to massage the spine. Just doing what feels nice. Releasing the hips after those down dogs and lunges. And then we'll go ahead and come back to neutral. Lower both feet to the floor. Rest for a moment. Let the pelvis settle. Let the back body settle. Feel into the hips. Hopefully they're resting equally into the floor beneath you. I'm going to move so that you can actually see this. So you can do it from a seated position, if you'd like. Draw the soles of the feet together, coming into butterfly or Baddha Konasana. You can stay here, feeling into that hip opening. You can also do it laying down, just reclining back, letting the legs splay open, feeling into how that feels. And then we're going to inhale, lift both knees up. We're going to come to lay on our back body and find our final pose, which is called Shavasana or corpse pose. So I'm going to sit up because I tend to drift off to another place when I take my Shavasana. So I will sit up and you can continue to lay and return to your breath like we did at the beginning of the practice, if that would help. Or you can follow the sound of my voice. Or you can use the sound of my voice as a external stimuli to allow you to turn inward. So almost ignoring my voice like it's white noise, allowing you to focus deeper on what's arising for you. Be mindful though that if thoughts are coming, that's not what you really want to listen to. You can be an observer and a witness to the fact that they arise, but don't get caught up in the story. Most of the time, that narrative, that tape that plays in your head is not your truth. That's the voices of parents, of peers, of media, of society, of people who, not meaning to, but think they're doing the right thing, but telling you how to be, even if it contradicts who you are. So it's either my voice or those tapes that you ignore, that you allow to play in the background, not paying them any mind, kind of like when you used to do your homework with the TV on. So you're kind of paying attention, but you're not really paying attention. You're focusing on your homework, and there's this sort of distracting thing in the back that you can choose not to give any space to, choose not to pay any rent to. Allow those competing noises to allow you to drive deeper. One of the ways of doing that is to ride the breath. So inhaling to feel the body lift naturally and exhaling to release down into the support of the earth beneath you. Allow your body to be cradled. Allow your mind to soften. Thoughts will arise. The narrative tapes may play. Don't give them any attention. Just return to the breath. Return to the body. Return to the space of your truth that resides in the core of your being. It is here in the truth of yourself where the wisdom from Mother Earth and the wisdom from the universe resides, and it knows how very wise you are. It knows that even in your imperfections, you are perfect. You are exactly who you need to be right here, right in the core of who you are. So whatever serves, whatever brings you closer to that truth on the outside is what you need to pursue. You get to choose how you want to show up. When you tap into your integrity and the truth of who you are, your decisions can then be informed by your truth, by your authenticity, and by your true innate wisdom, instead of by the lies and the veils of untruth that get draped in front of us by well-meaning parents or by a diet industry that tries to sell you the lie that you're not good enough the way you are, or by a fashion industry that tells you a certain way to dress, a certain way to look, by your peers who don't accept you for who you are. You'll find that when you truly tap into who you are, you'll begin to cultivate a group of people who are drawn to you. They're drawn to your light. They're drawn to who you are. And those people that are trying to put your light out, those people that don't serve you well, that don't lift you up, the people that drag you down, they'll fall away. And you will come to find, when you're rooted in yourself, that you already possess absolutely everything you need to be who you are. Right in the core of yourself. And then you can move forward and make everything else match the truth of who you are. Who you choose to hang out with, what you choose to wear, how you choose to spend your day, how you choose to show up in the world when it's informed by who you really are, and you're in touch with who you really are, you get released from so much of the suffering. It's a continual process though, because we still have all of those mistruths circulating. We still have all of those narratives playing, and because we're human, we often get dragged into that story. It's okay. It happens. You can always come back to yourself. You can always return to your truth. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what meditation is. So meditation is about quieting the mind so you can find your truth. And the thoughts arise, but the practice is coming back. So anytime, come back to your body, come back to your breath, come back to who you are. Move with joy. Move with reverence for the immense capacity that you have. Allow all of this to sink in as you breathe. The body naturally lifts on the inhale and releases and softens down on the exhale. Deep relaxation. You have nothing to do. Absolutely nowhere to go. In this slice, in this breath, in this second, you have freedom to just be. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Allow some gentle movement into the fingers and the toes. Gradually grow a little larger, creating wrist circles and ankle circles if you'd like, excuse me. And then that can culminate in a big stretch, hands reaching away from the feet. And as you release it, go ahead and roll over to the right side of the body if you're laying. Take at least a breath here. And then we'll use the strength of the upper body to a comfortable seated position. Excuse me. Keep your gaze soft when you're in your seated position. Come to find a nice tall spine so the crown of the head can rise, the lungs can reach their full capacity by lifting the chest. If you'd like, the hands can come together at the heart center, thumbs pressing into the sternum. As you inhale, the heart will naturally rise. As you exhale, if you would like, you can bow the chin to the chest, the mind acknowledging the wisdom of the heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for leaning into who you are. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a glorious rest of your day, and I hope that you return to your mat to find yourself often. Thank you.